All right, we got a little something different for y'all today. This is my man Goose. You should know him from tokenomics. You should know him from the cornfields. Thanks, man, for coming out. I know you have an interesting trend line chart that you've shared with me a few times in the community a few times. So I wanted to get you on here. Asked if you'd be willing to share it and break it down for me a little bit because I just look at it and see lines and say, let's stay above that one. So happy to have you here and happy to have you teach us a little something. If you just give us a little background on yourself, I believe you said you were from more of like the traditional markets before you found crypto and maybe day trading, if my mind serves me correct. But
A little bit,
I'll
a
leave it
little
to
bit.
you. I'll leave it to you.
All right, yeah. Well, I'm Goose. I got into markets in 2019, and I've only been crypto, so
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't traded in normal markets, but
Okay.
I got into it. I was all Cardano at the time. I was just investing, and then my bag went up 40%, and then it dropped 35%, and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I need to trade. That's how I'm going to make money, and
Sure.
it didn't really pan out. I was just losing money at the end of the
Right.
end of the year. I was like, I've lost all this money this year. What am I doing? So maybe investing is just the right place for me.
Yeah.
So I was looking for just a good project, and almost about 2 years ago, I found Cornucopias through a video by Crypto Capital Venture, which
Me
I think
too.
brought
I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure brought a lot of people on, and
Yeah.
um, yeah, and so I saw it and I was like, whoa, like this is a project I want to be involved in. I'm going to start buying just small little bits, and you know during that time when I was trying to trade, I wanted to take some kind of course, some kind of crypto market, maybe macro market course, and I took that and spent a few months just not trading, just trying to learn how markets move, and it goes into following the world as a whole. So
Yeah.
the DXY, the US 2 year, the US 10 year,
Yeah.
all that stuff, and trying to understand it. I'm no expert right now, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
You just try to do your best and do your own research, kind of stuff. But during that time, I actually learned how to just make trend lines and precise trend lines. No, just drawing really simple lines across a chart, but really taking it from the monthly, weekly, daily, and I mean, if you're really doing a short analysis, you can do a 2 hour. But
Yeah.
what I like to do is monthly, weekly, and daily. So
Okay.
that's what I have for you and for the YouTubes today.
Yeah, like it's a little different. It's precise and a little different than draw a triangle here, draw a triangle
Mhm.
there, draw a triangle there. So yeah, I mean, I like to look at all aspects, just like you said. With the got to look at the big picture. But when it comes down to these real small micro caps, it can be tricky sometimes. But it's always nice to have reference. So
Yeah,
yeah, what are we working with here, Goose? What are we working with? How's it looking?
it's looking good. I
Okay.
mean, we're finding support right now. We're finding structure. So obviously, Bitcoin's just going through the roof yesterday and today, and um,
Trying
it
to
will eventually come into Kopi.
Yeah.
We could say right now that we don't have investor attention. That's where I think how markets move, especially the crypto market. It's all about investor attention.
Yeah.
We had it for a month and we shot up 400%. So that's like as soon as we get that investor attention again, we'll be right back up there. I know it hasn't been the best price action. I mean, to me, what I when that this long tail wick right here, when that happens,
Yeah.
um, it it kind of messes with my OCD a little bit because I
Yeah.
know that there was some other factors there,
Right.
and but we shot right back up, and well, we came back down. Let's do some actual another 20%, which is really nothing in crypto.
Right.
I mean, it as it as it falls down, the one thing that I was kind of excited for was, oh man, go, uh, we can go that fast down that means that we can go that fast up, and we just experienced that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
anybody that's been in the market the last 2 years with Copi is sitting pretty. Maybe not on the first few weeks that it came out. Went up to 8 cents and then dropped all the way down to 1 cent, and then we went to 13 cents. We're basing around 7 cents right now.
Right.
So
I mean, that's the thing with these low liquidity, low market cap coins is it can go really quickly down and it can go really quickly up. So I mean, it doesn't
yes,
take much to move the needle. So it's always something to keep in mind. It can be a benefit and it can be a hindrance. But yeah, I think when we all saw that quick dip in the market there for the unfortunate situation, you got to keep in mind that some of the people that scooped up and brought us back up to the level very quickly could be opportunity traders. So I believe that's why we had the quick scoop back up, and then we had a nice retracement always after that. So, but yeah, I think it still looks promising.
absolutely. This is exactly what we want. We want Bitcoin to just go through the roof, because then from Bitcoin it goes to alts, and then you could say sub alts, and we're a sub alt right now. We're not in the top 100.
Absolutely.
I think we're around 500 last time I
Yep.
looked, and so as that happens, I think you and I know you and I are both investors. We're supporters of the project, and so we want to see it do well over the next 2, 3, 10 years,
Yep.
right? So I'm not an opportunity trader here. I will say I have not bought since September. No, yeah, maybe about August, September 22.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I
Right.
just made my next big purchase last week. So
Yeah.
because it's down right now. This is when you buy. You don't buy it, when it's at 13 cents, raging, four huge weekly candles. If you are trying to trade or invest, I mean, DCA is my my 2 cents. I've tried to trade. If you're a trader and you're professional, then you know what you're doing. Don't listen to me. But on these huge red days, I think it's the best time to buy in.
Absolutely.
I will say I am scared of Bitcoin right now, just a little bit. Maybe not scared, but just nervous where it's going. This is my Bitcoin chart, but it we've had a lot of green.
Yeah.
We've had a ton of green. So I'm cautious over the next few months. We could see a mini capitulation. We could see, a big drop off, on a dime. So I'm looking out for that. I'm prepared for that. If that happens, I think Copi could start to see some traction. Actually, that'd be great to see Bitcoin coming down and Copi going up,
Mhm.
which just means it has strength relative to Bitcoin.
Well,
So
and if you remember
yeah.
our last big run up, that is exactly what it did.
Yes.
It was everyone's like the market's down and Kopi is running. And yeah, I think you got to step back a lot of times and know that especially in crypto, it's narrative run. And
Hmm.
at that point, gaming was running hard. And many have had substantial pullbacks since that run. They all kind of ran similar, and Kopi actually it ran kind of last in that gaming run at the very end of it.
Yes.
And now it's back to it's kind of like full cycle again. We're back to AI popping, and if you remember, that's the first thing that popped in the Cardano ecosystem. First off, when AJAX first hit, and it's still sitting up there, but it all goes in cycles. Everything takes its turn, and I believe, yeah, this is some healthy retracement uh, for a similar, for a similar return. So, what about
Absolutely.
these? Can you zoom in on some
Yeah.
of those trend lines and let me know what's going on there?
Let's do it.
All right.
So let's look at it from a daily perspective. Daily perspective. One thing I have. So it's my chart's pretty simple. If it's explained to you, I have a few different ways of going about it. So like I already said, like I like monthly, weekly, and daily trend lines. I don't really mess with the hourly.
Yeah.
But this top purple right here is our all time high, which is at 13 cents, 459. The next is my most important ones are these blue lines. So these blue trend lines, like you can see it right here. I keep them kind of dull because I don't want it to, totally like muddy up the chart. But
Okay.
we haven't even hit this monthly blue trend line right here, and it's going along. And so I'd be looking at that as some very strong support. So if we come down, I think the lowest for me that it could come down is maybe 61 cents. That's like from a probability standpoint.
Right. Yeah, I was watching, I believe it, and it wasn't like that, but it was a moving average, and I saw it sitting around 5.9, and that was maybe a week ago or something like that. So I'm sure it's upped itself since then. But yeah, very
Yeah,
strong support there.
super strong. So I that makes me so excited because I know, hey, the bottom is near. Like this bottom of the correction to
Right.
me, from a probability standpoint, can it go lower? Absolutely.
Right.
But you just go off probabilities. There's no sure thing in crypto or any market. So, but yeah, the next one we actually just hit was just a daily trend line. So not as strong as what it's sitting above now, which is a weekly. So here, let's really zoom in there, and because I am looking at some resistance above us.
Okay.
So we have our daily yellow trend line right here, and then we have a white trend line right here. That's a weekly, so that's still really strong support. And if you look at it from an actual like weekly standpoint, you know we touched it and we're above.
That's
So
funny. I was watching the same thing. I was cheering on the
yes,
weekly candle, and we just nudged above it just at the right time by 1 cent maybe, and it was like, yes, that's strong. That's a strong finish.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we do have some daily resistance above us. If we got above, like 73, 74 cents,
Hmm.
this is all basic. So if you look at, you can kind of see this little triangle, and then we have these two purple lines right here, and these are actually two previous all-time highs. So if we get above this resistance, above this daily resistance line, we're shooting up. I mean, that's a positive fresh air gap, which means
Now
that
where is that sitting at, Goose?
sitting at right above 7.7406.
Okay.
I would say about 74.
Okay.
7 cents. Yeah, 409. So, and I believe if we get above that, we're shooting up to 8 cents. Now,
Okay.
of course, this isn't a sure thing. This isn't a financial advice, but
Right.
that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
That's the probability standpoint from my perspective. So, if we get up there, we'll have resistance above about right at 8 cents, and if we get above that, we're going up to this one 8.9 or just below 9 cents, and so forth. I mean, these are all just
And then we got some open air. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
tons of open air right here.
Yeah.
We will slice through this the second I think we get above the 8 cent line.
Yeah. Now I think at the current point, because the narrative isn't hitting hard right now, the gaming narrative, I believe what we're waiting on personally is for ADA to pop, because it's like we've been waiting for ADA to pop for I don't know how long now, and it's been banging its head, banging its head, banging its head, and it's got some pretty good upside targets to it. I've seen 70, 80, I've seen all sorts of things, and I think if we pop there, maybe the pair it outtraces ADA outtraces COPI for a bit, but we all know what happens, at some point. To me, I was saying this earlier in tokenomics, I think we all know that the massive market cap of Cardano is not going to outtrace COPI's gains in the long term. So at some point, those gains will return to the Cardano native assets, and we'll have our run. That's my perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right on. All right. So our next bit of resistance, you said about 7.3, 7.4. After that, about 8.
Yes.
After that, about 9. And then we got some big open air. What is that top trend line there? Sitting at that one right there.
This one right here, about 13. That's another monthly. That's a monthly resistance line right now.
Okay.
And we've hit this one a few times. So let's go to a monthly perspective, and so you can kind of see where it falls. But it's coming off these two candles right here.
Okay.
And it's right along the way that I chart is right on the corners. I don't mess with wicks. I want to know where it was overbought or oversold,
Sure.
and I want to know where the body of the candle moves to the next. And if you look at my my trend lines too, I only go from candle to candle. I don't unless it's like a corner like this one. So if these two candles right here, I actually didn't worry about this one. So the trend line isn't hitting the corner right here. It's hitting right here. Where did this trend line start?
Okay.
And I want to know where it got over, but
Yeah.
it, it went right back under, right
Right.
when we hit 13 cents. So this one to me is actually an important one. I'm glad you brought this one up because I think that's where we could, base, especially for this next year or so. I
Right.
mean, as we inch along.
I mean, this
So
this is a great chart. Back if you could pull it back just a little bit further
yeah,
of where we've been. I mean, look at that. Come on, guys. How is that not a healthy chart? When people say zoom out, I mean zoom out. This is
yeah.
nothing bad to look at there. That looks pretty darn great to me. So yeah, okay. Well, yeah, thanks for that little insight. I think the year ahead and 2025 got some exciting things ahead. You feeling similar
Absolutely.
about? Do you have an ADA chart on there as well, or is that not on
I
your?
do. I haven't I haven't charted it all that as much as Kopi. That's the one that I've charted the most. But
Okay.
I do have like small little levels that I'm looking at. I mean, basically for ADA, I'm looking for it to shoot up to about 80 cents.
Yeah.
I think if we shoot up to 80 cents, yeah, that's where we'll have some resistance. After that, uh, basically $1.20.
Yeah.
At,
I mean, the
yeah,
reality is, if BTC stays over 57 and maybe even gets over, I believe it was CCV this morning that was saying if we get over 57.5, that is the exit of the bull doors. That is the last resistance to really lighten this thing on fire. And if 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 we do not have some massive retracement in BTC, or even if we do have some retracement, that generally a little bit goes into the alts, and you have your alt season. But I mean, this is territory we've never been in Bitcoin ever. Pushing through these bull doors, and it's historic. It's pretty exciting, and if there's follow through on it, there's no limit to what this bull run can do, man. There's no limit. So I'm pretty excited.
well, and I'm a huge proponent on the pandemic. Canceled our last one.
Right.
I really think so. We still had a huge bull run, but I mean, it limited the top, which just I'm ready for absolute fireworks
Yeah.
on this over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So
And it is different. We have, I said before, with all the inflows going into these ETFs, they're not day traders. They're stacking
yeah,
up retirement funds. I mean, this is institutional money. It's gonna be a fun show. So yeah, we're very lucky to be here. We're very lucky to be watching it. So thanks for joining me, man. You got anything else you want to add?
uh, not today. I mean, this was great. It's what I've learned, especially from the Discord community, is everyone's willing to talk and express your thoughts. Like I love hearing other people's opinions, and if you think the price is going to go down when I think it's going to go up, I want to know why. I just
Yeah.
want to understand, where everyone's coming from, and in a friendly manner, right?
Yeah.
So like if you're, yeah. Sometimes I think it's going to go down when everyone else thinks it's going to go up, and then I'm wrong, and it's no problem. I mean, we're a community. I think as a community, I want to see us just get better at you know expressing our thoughts and yeah, just being friendly.
Yeah, right on, man. Yeah, it's always going to have the outliers of extremists, and you could say I'm obviously a perma bull to some extent, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'm cool with being checked. Check me all day. I just know long term. I think it's hard to be bearish within the next 2 year time frame, and that's
absolutely.
that's kind of my outlook. So. Anyways,
Yes,
thanks for joining, Goose. Awesome to see you in real life over
yeah,
the over the internets.
yes.
And thanks for what you do in the community. And it's awesome to do this. Maybe we'll have you back sometime when we're really popping off out of the all-time highs. How about that, man?
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks, man. See you next time.
Thank you for all you do.
Hey,
All right.
right on. Bye bye.